tiny bowl of water that your hand doesn't fit in, and you're gonna completely submerge your hand, and then just start to wet the form. So I have a dry hand. This is what's gonna hold my nub. This is gonna be the hand that does all the work. So I've wet the form, and what I'm just gonna start doing is I'm going to start squeezing through it gently, using the sides, this little curve that naturally exists in my hand, to start tapering it and to get it to smooth out. So I'm gently squeezing and pulling down and turning it all the way around. So I want it consistent and even. So think about this like you're centering your handle, right? Except it's not rotating for you, you're slowly rotating it. You're getting all the clay even into a cone so that you can pull an even cone. There you go. I'm going to start, I have a little fold here, so I'm going to put a little bit more pressure on the side of my thumb to kind of start to smooth that out. And I like strap handles, so those are handles that are thin in one direction and wide in the other. If you choose to make a completely rounded handle, every time you turn this, you're gonna turn it 90 degrees, right? So once, twice, so that's 4 turns to make a complete turn. Because I'm gonna do a strap handle, I'm gonna turn it mostly 180 degrees every time I turn it. So I'm just gonna start pulling, and now I'm gonna start applying more pressure on my pointer and keeping the curved part between my thumb and my forefinger behind it. So pulling, pulling. You want to do this gradually. Do not rush this process, because if your handle gets if it goes thin and then thick, just cut it off. You're just gonna end up ripping it off at some point later, and then why put in the work if you see that something's not working? Clay is recyclable. Like at this point, I could just very easily wedge this up and start again, right? Notice how often I'm dipping my hand in the water. It's just like when you're throwing, it's complete slip, right? So I want to make sure that this part stays wider and that this is the part that's going to get narrower. So I'm going to exert a little bit more pressure this way to kind of thicken this up and keep it wider, and then do a few pulls down here that are normal, just tapering down. So you can even do this by changing your hand position as you go. So more squeezing, and then I engage my thumb behind it and pull down. You see that? So hand open on the side and then closed. Because I'm getting to a point where I think the top is almost done, I'm gonna give it a little bit more upward pressure just to kind of widen it a little bit up there, just because that's the only place where I want it to be wide. So I'm doing a little bit of compression side to side, and now I'm gonna pull through to get rid of all my hand marks. All right, now back to rotating, and I'm just squeezing my hand tighter as I go. Now I'm not gonna work towards the top anymore because it's done. I'm gonna mostly focus here. And now I'm gonna start doing that thing that I do with my thumb where I put a little knob, I put like a little bend in it, because I feel like that really gives you a place to put your thumb so that it doesn't slip side to side while you're holding something heavy. So I'm just gonna hold the back and press in with my thumb, oops, all the way through. Ooh, look what I did. That's okay, I can fix that. Maybe I can't, but it's okay, I'm gonna fake it. All right, so that's it. I'm probably gonna go back and add clay to that. I'm just smoothing it out. And now I'm gonna hold it down. You can hang this off the side of your piece, but I'm just gonna let it set on its side. And instead of saying that's it, I'm gonna let that sit there. What I'm gonna do, dry off my arm, my hand, and you might do this a different way, but what I do is I hold my piece sideways over the handle so that I'm looking straight down at it, and I move the handle till it's where I want it to be. Just make sure that you're readjusting your handle so it's straight. And notice how I'm not just pulling out at a point. I'm kind of like smoothing it. I'm following the compression form that I have already made. There you go. So I'm just lining it up, and actually this part comes up like this, hits here, and comes back down to there, okay? So I can even, if I want, mark out on the handle the points that I'm gonna want and cut that stuff off. I can even mark on the side of the pot where I want the handle to start and stop. But I'm not gonna do that because I'm gonna trim the pot, right? And it's already gonna fit really nice.